Hey, this is just a quick walkthrough of the new course at the house. Haven't gotten all the permanent signage up yet, but should have that up pretty soon. So, and then I'll put up a playthrough. Hole number one, about 176 feet, and a Mando over the water. We also have Pro T kind of if you go a little bit behind us, or you can tee off from the concrete. So kind of a path over the pond, and the basket actually sets in between two trees. You can see a little glimpse of it over there. So a little guarded by the trees, but nothing too difficult. So now we got hole number two, 202 feet, and you kind of have to avoid the house and some little bit of hanging coverage. So NOB is anywhere if you go outside of the fence line or if you end up on the roof of the house. And there you can see the basket up in the front corner. The rope in the basket is my putting rope, so it's marked off every 11 feet so I can stretch it out, and it matches up to disc putting accuracy charts. Hole number three, 246 feet. It has a bit of a rise, and then it drops downhill to a custom-made elevated tee. All the measurements are done using U-disc, which is GPS point to point. I measured this one out today with a long tape measure, and as the disc would fly is probably about 20 feet or so further than as the crow would fly. So again, fence is out of bounds, creek down here is out of bounds. So you can see so we got quite a bit of downhill through the trees to my Happy Gas elevated basket. Quick side note, my neighbor has given me access to the property over there and all the woods behind his house. So about another 2 acres. So that'll be the back 9. Hole 4, 243 feet. And it's way at the other end. It's hard to tell, but you're actually going from an elevated tee down. We have a dry creek bed up here, the front edge of it that's considered OB, just to add a little bit of excitement to it, since it's kind of a short course. We have a little under 2 acres here, so the permanent horseshoe pits. So you can see the basket up here. Hole 5 is one of the shortest at 130 feet. You kind of have two paths, but the basket is guarded by trees, so it's straight on the other side of the fence line, so you can go right or left. Again, over the horseshoe pits. Then the basket back here nestled and guarded by trees. And if you overthrow, fence is always out of bounds. Hole 6, again another short one, but you're shooting kind of through a tunnel, having to worry a little bit about canopy. And the special thing about this one, it's going to an old basket that I custom built out of PVC about 20 years ago. So it's been sitting here with the first basket and the only basket for about the last 18 years. OB is if somehow you land on top of the garage. I'm putting in fire pits, lighting, so you can see you go back, so you also climb in a grade. A very old basket. Then you just walk over. Hole 7, 153 feet. It goes downhill back to that elevated basket. We have two versions. The more pro is from back here. We also have, you can also choose more of a straight tunnel shot if you want to do the more novice, but still got to deal with going downhill and an elevated basket. So going this way, you have to try to take it, either turn it between these trees or just on the other side there. Again, you're going downhill to an elevated basket, so adds a little trickery to it. Okay, for 8, it's the longest hole, 265 feet. And we're going back uphill. If you can see the way in the far, you can see just the red flag. So here you got to deal with a little bit of canopy issues, as well as you're going uphill. And then actually once you get to the top of the hill, it goes back down to the basket. So if you just clear the grass by a couple feet, you're pretty good. Up the hill. And then it starts to fall back off again. And then the final hole, hole 9, you can kind of see the basket off during the distance, so you can try to drive straight, or you can go left of the fence. Again, OB is if you end up outside of the fence or on top of the greenhouse. So again, depending on which line you took, you need to be trying to drive low there, maybe a forehand or a big backhand this way.